Hi guys, it's Coach MK, and we're going to start in a few minutes. I'm just getting warmed up, getting all the questions out. Merry Christmas! And in other big news, I'm cleaning up the final bit of donations that have been coming in. We're at 18,000, you guys. That is crazy! It's crazy. I love it. Y'all blow my mind in the best possible way. How was your Christmas? Give me some stories. Hey, how are you? I'm just cleaning up some more of the donations. We've got 18,000 now. It's amazing. I'm going to come over to you guys in 3 minutes. And while I'm going to clean these emails out, because some people have been waiting for 4 or 5 days. I got a little busy, and then my husband surprised us all with a night away in Keystone last night, which we just literally, the kids are downstairs. My husband's unpacking, the kids are in the bath, and I came straight up here. So I'm going to get a couple of these out. But while we're at it, I want y'all, tell me stories. What are you doing? What's going on? More importantly, what are you avoiding right now to be here and watching this with me? Yay! I know Christmas is crazy. Tell me about your crazy. I know, right? $18,000 is crazy. Crazy. The best kind of crazy, but crazy nonetheless. Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that mantra was helpful with you and your in-laws. I know in-laws can be really, really tough. Wait till you hear the one I'm going to record in an hour. Whoop whoop. Merry Christmas, your baby had too much fun with in-laws. No! Oh my gosh, that's the worst. I feel like one grandparent should have to like manage the hangover we think of it as a grandmama hangover, right? I mean, you have too much everything, too much candy, too much goodness, too many cuddles, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's a price to be paid, and unfortunately, the parents have to pay it. Pat Brockman, ooh, that is awesome! Yay, more grandchildren! I bet you are the best grandma in the whole wide world. A mini trampoline. Ooh, you can lock him in the basement for hours and he won't care. Notice that the door is locked. I hope he has a potty down there too. Hi, Merry Christmas. Sure, hit send on that. All right. Let me knock these out. We got so many. We got another 1,000, Alex. Right? I'm still like, what?
We need to tell some people at some point that this is over?
No, I mean, I told everyone it was going until the 31st, and then after that, the new programs are supposed to be launched.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what they asked me to do. Like, Dimity never said anything about it. That's just me, my sense of right and wrong. .601. Almost there, you guys. I'll be right there. Tell me stories. I'll respond in a minute. Oh my god, and this woman's company has a triple match.
So what?
This woman's company has a triple match, and she just bought all of my plans. Every single one.
Okay.
It's about $600.
That's deep.
Right? That's insane.
Got a metric ton of Christmas cards.
This is why I feel bad. I keep saying, hey y'all, hashtag not dead. Not dead. I will coach again at some point. Like, this is... I appreciate it. These are awesome plans, and I had a lot of fun making them, but this is not like MK's going to the graveyard sale.
You're right. Calling it the graveyard sale would be a little morose.
Right? I'm like, I feel like that's super sad. I think that's my biggest fear is that, like, next year or something, I'll be coaching again and people will be like, you lied! Like, wait, what are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure.
I have told so much truth that my husband's getting mad at me for revealing our kids, like, struggles in the online ether.
Speaking of which, are you live right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why?
We got RJ's G&T results. He did excellent, so he's superior, but not very superior, so he didn't qualify for the G&T magnet.
Okay.
So it's good news.
That's good news.
So he did as well as you can possibly do on the test. He's like right below the line to be G&T.
Yay! That's good.
So he's just going to go through. So that's a good thing. So they're basically like, yeah, he doesn't qualify for magnet testing. It's for children who are really, really need the support.
Yeah.
But his test scores are awesome. So
That's wonderful.
so
We're probably the only family in Denver that's celebrating our kids not
getting
passing the
the
G&T
GT.
test. Yes! It adds a wrinkle and a complication when you have autism like our kid does. So, yay.
So that means he doesn't
He
go to the ultra special school.
Right. So, because if he qualified, that would just be another way for the system to keep us out, which we don't want, because he wants to go to school with his sister. Yay!
So, good news all around.
That is really good news. I'll take it. Okay, I'm going to apply this woman and get her what she wants, and then I'm going to... It's time for Ask the Coach. Even though there's nobody here, I didn't think there would be. Well, not nobody, sorry, there are 11 people.
Do we want Courtney to come for a normal shift tomorrow so we can work out? She's decided not to go to Moab.
She's decided not to go to Moab?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Hi. Hi, buddy. What are you doing? You want to tell everybody what you did today?
It's just that I didn't make the Lego man.
Oh, but did you ride the ski lift?
Yeah.
Didn't make the Lego.
We still have to make the Lego man from the monster truck, the one with the little itsy bitsy pieces that I can barely put together.
That you guys weren't supposed to open until Christmas Day. That
I'm
was.
sorry. Are you okay? I'm sorry. Watch out where you're going, dude. I'm sorry. Okay. Daddy's just big. You can watch out. I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. Wait. Excellent. And yay! Yeah, so that not qualifying for G&T is actually really good news. Oh my gosh. Yay. Did you guys see that in my Nuzzle newsletter today? Did you like it? I was excited. Oh my God. I mean, by excited, I mean I started yelling at my husband around 11 o'clock like, I want to see the underlying data set on the 20 most dominant athletes. My ass. Where's Michaela Schar? Where's Tatiana McFadden? I was kind of losing it. He was real happy. Man, that man must love the hell out of me. I'm telling you what. I'm not worth it. I'm just not. Because I didn't, when I saw that, I completely just went, phew. I'd had it flagged to look at for several days, but I just hadn't done it. And then when I did, I was like, breathing fire! Alright, hi! Sorry to keep you waiting. My name is Coach MK Fleming of Another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club, but only for about 7 more days. That's www.trainlikeamother.club. Yay! This is our weekly segment everyone's been waiting for a little too long, known as Ask the Coach. I'm going to go answer some questions in the Facebook group after I holler at some of these comments. And then my Christmas card's going out tomorrow, the e-card. There's still time to get on the e-card list. If you have already signed up for the list, you're good. You're on it. It's happening. But if you're like, hey, I could use a little more Coach MK, all you have to do is email Coach MK Fleming, one word, CoachMKFleming @gmail.com, and I will add you, just with all you have to put in the subject line is add me to the list, and you will be automatically added to the list. for that will receive my Christmas card, e-card. And the e-card, by the way, is different from the printed card. Who takes Christmas seriously? This girl. That's right. So, you can either go back and find the Google form and get in there, or you can email coachmkfleming@gmail.com with add me to the list in the subject line, and you will get the Christmas card that goes out tomorrow at noon MST. Yay! So exciting! I know, I'm excited, but I get excited about lots of things. Not everything, but lots of things. It's kind of good to be there. And by the way, you know your Christmas card's good when... Do y'all remember Debbie Giossi? Anyone here know Debbie? She's on the list, which thrilled me. I didn't even know. I haven't heard from her in a while. I didn't know she was on my Facebook page. She saw the Google form, got in it without me knowing, and then sent me the greatest text of her, like, giggling and holding the card next to her face, and it was just so cute. It made my day. Oh, my God. If you get that excited... I want to see you that excited. Take a picture, put it on Instagram and tag me, put it on Facebook and tag me, text it to me. I don't really care. I want to see it. I love Christmas, and there's no such thing as too much Christmas excitement, because God knows there's enough Christmas shit to go all the way around the world twice. We don't need any more of that. What we need is more happy. We need a conspiracy to make everyone really, really happy. Tidings of great joy. Send it out, send it out. So, send it to me, get on the list, and then I want to see a picture of you, just like, even if you get, it doesn't have to be just the printed one. Like, if you love the e-card, I need to know. This is validation. I've worked for Another Mother Runner for 2 years, and all I've heard is, MK, you're really mean. MK, you don't have enough boundaries. MK, office hours don't work for me, and you charge too much. So, let's send me out on a real high note. As that email comes out, and you're like, oh, wow, this e-card is amazing. Grab your phone and be like, selfie of you reacting to the card. I want to see that shit, man, because I don't have boundaries and terrible judgment and really bad taste. There's no way I won't like what you're sending my way. Yay! I might live in Colorado now, but I started in Tennessee. We ain't picky. What?
I stubbed my toe.
How did you stub your toe? Stub your foot.
Here's a pile of Christmas cards.
You did not stub your toe on a pile of Christmas cards.
I stubbed my toe on my bag.
Okay. I'm like that. That's how I want to die, actually.
Stubbed toe on pile of Christmas cards?
Yes. I want to die from paper cuts from opening all the Christmas cards.
There we go. So, sorry. It's in Spanish.
You remember when he went through the Spanish phase? Mm-hmm. I thank God every day we're out of that.
Yeah, so...
Yay!
So you have to be there.
To be forced into the
school. To be forced into school.
Okay.
So, that's the
So
best.
he qualifies for GNT programs, but he can't be pushed without our consent into a GNT program or a GNT school.
I think that's the best possible outcome.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just making sure I'm reading this correctly.
I think so. They'll keep watching him, but, he doesn't qualify this time.
That's fine. If it was truly the best thing for my kid, I'd consider it, but I don't buy into this magnet school nonsense. I never have. Yay, so here we go. I'm going to get into the chat. Mini trampoline. Hi, Melissa Yaxo. I know, I haven't been able to pop in lately either. Thank you. Yeah, it's just 12. It's my last day with them, so it's like I can't honor donations made after that. It would not be fair to be like, go see if you like the program, and if not, come get one of my old ones. That would make me a butthead. I'm like, anybody that like has true, and I get it, there's a lot of strain on your finances this month. So if that's the case and you really need just like one extra paycheck worth, I will, I've had 3 people email me and say, I genuinely need a couple extra weeks. And I'm like, great. I will work with that. Pretty much everyone else, if you haven't told me I'm intending to buy and this is the paycheck where it's going to happen, that's just not fair to everybody at AMR. So people don't respect expectations. I know they do. I appreciate that, Melissa. I really, really do. But, I get it. In the past 2 years, all the the drum the media has been banging is women need to ask for more. Unfortunately, they're not real discerning on telling women where to do it. It's like you're supposed to ask for more at work. You're supposed to ask for more help at home. You're supposed to ask for more. You're not supposed to, like, find the woman next to you and, like, demand that she work for free. I don't think that's what they meant. Unfortunately, that's kind of what it's turned into. People forget this is why small businesses don't last real long. Everybody wants to shop at Walmart because they want a coupon and the best possible price. It was a tragic Christmas card accident. No, Megan, it was not a tragic Christmas card accident. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And yours is going out. So what had happened was I was having Megan make a card for me, and I totally just, like, I screwed up. I thought the one she had sent me was the final version, and it was not the high-res version. So when I sent it to the printer, they were like, this won't print. It's not high-res enough. So we took the photo out of your account. I'm a big shopper a minute. We took the photo out of your account, put it over here, and put this design on it. Does that work for you? And I was like, well, if it doesn't go to print today, I can't mail cards by Christmas, so sure. And then, like, 10 minutes later, I get the e-card from Melissa. So the printed card is different from the e-card. It is normally that way in my world. Has not been that way for the past 2 years. This is the first year I've signed back up for Constant Contact, which allows you to email more than 10. Because if you've ever noticed on Gmail, you're capped. Anything more than email being sent to, like, more than 10 people at a time, they just won't let you do it. Or at least I've learned that the hard way of trying to send files to lots and lots of people through Lifetime, because they have the crappiest mail system in the whole fucking world. I mean, it is bad. Really bad. I can't email more than 5 people at a time with an attachment. So if I had when I had 100 people in my training program, I was like, F that. I'm not sending 20 emails. You guys don't even pay me to do that. Never mind. So I got Constant Contact, and it was kind of a game changer. So I haven't used Constant Contact in a couple of years. I'm excited. I pulled it back down, dusted it off, coming to your inbox with a little bit of pixie dust. Yay! It's gonna be awesome! And yeah, him not... So my son has autism, and I mean, high-functioning autism does not mean the easy autism. It's still autism, right? It's a spectrum. And it's actually, what's harder about it is that he passes for normal until he starts self-regulating. So when he gets worked up by a sound or something that kids do, or something a teacher did, or being told no, I don't know, playtime is over and now it's time to do reading or math, he could get really frustrated, and he's not always great at regulating that frustration level and coming back to normal. Granted, neither am I, but it's different with him. So we want to make sure he has the support he needs in his classroom in those moments when it happens. So if you don't have the IEP and you don't have the support you need, that's usually, that can become have grounds to be kicked out of school. He could be labeled as a behavior problem. And by having autism and an HGT diagnosis, that could be enough for the public school system to say he belongs in a magnet school, we can't handle him. So, and all he really wants is to go to school with his sister. And the chances of all 4 of my kids qualifying for a magnet school are infinitely low. I mean, I think my genes are great. I think my husband's genes are great. But that type of pressure on my children, I'm not one to pressure. I don't pressure my runners. I don't pressure my kids. I don't pressure anybody. I don't think pressure is effective. It's shaming to live in the should do. And all pressure is just like a big, gigantic should do that is shared with a whole bunch of people. And I'm never going to put that on my children. So the school that we're zoned for, Cheyenne goes and she loves it. RJ wants to go there too. We're just having to put all the little Jenga pieces in place to make sure that can happen. Because he's got, when he took the preliminary test, he scored like off the charts. And we were like, oh, y'all need to get him officially tested for HGT. So we've been sitting around and waiting for 2 weeks. This is when I said I think we might have all this resolved by January 15th. It's not going to happen by January 15th. We heard the results, but we didn't see the results. All we heard was a no, but we didn't. That was what my husband was bringing in. So then this is why I get in trouble. Why I get frustrated when people are like, you're being shady. I'm like, you need to turn on the Twitch, because I'm being the opposite of shady. I'm sharing enough that it makes my husband really angry. So there's that. That's going on. We're in a we're in a good place, and I dig it, and this is good news because it doesn't, the HGT official diagnosis could have kicked him out of the school where his sister goes. They could have been like, one we could handle, but not two things. So, yay! Only one special need, not two. There's that. Who wants to play Ask the Coach? I think it's time for Ask the Coach, y'all. Yay! For those of you just joining the stream, my name is Coach MK Fleming of Another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. That's www.trainlikeamother.club. We only have one of these Ask the Coach sessions left after tonight. If you want to type in the chat, you've got to follow me. Sorry, if you're a client of mine and you have no intention of following me or signing up for a Twitch account, that's fine. Reach out to Sarah, reach out to Julie, reach out to any of the people who have used their full name here, and you know who they are. Reach out to them, ask them to type your question in the chat, and I will answer it. I'm going to go through all of my groups, all my training programs. We're going to start with 101, move to Bag of Speed, half marathon, full marathon, monthly plans. Then I will come back. I will be dialoguing with anyone that's typing in the chat as we go. That is all. Whenever you hear me address your question, that is a great time to hit me with follow-up questions here in the chat. And as soon if we run out of questions, because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot tonight, we can just tell stories and plot out my podcast for tomorrow, because I'm super excited about that. And Julie has a super sexy husband. She's going to save the world, and he's here to make it pretty. And he's made something real pretty for me, I think. Is that going to be ready tonight, Julie, or is that going to be like tomorrow? Because I'm so excited. I want it to accompany my podcast. Yay, yay, yay. I got an infographic, y'all. I mean, we're getting highfalutin here in the Fleming household. Coach MK is going to have an infographic on navigating the minefield known as holiday dinner conversations. Yay! We refer to them jokingly, not so jokingly, as the death march to a gaslight. Where nothing... Oh my god, it's in my email?
Do I get phrase credit for Death March to a Gaslight?
Yes. And for being sexy! But I promise you I'll let you through your brains first. After I got over. Oh yay, did you get my response, Julie? So a few hours ago, yeah, no, and I replied. I was like, if he could, is it too much to like stick my name on it? So if people share it, there's no question that it came from Coach MK, because most people don't know that Coach is on ampersand.
Or I could do it.
Or if you can do it.
I mean, yeah, if they can do it, great. If not, I can do it.
Okay. Just like, yay! We so happy. I'm so excited. Anyway, it's beautiful, Julie. He did a really great job. So here we go. I'm gonna hop into the Facebook groups. We're going to answer questions, and then we're going to talk about how to navigate really terrible dinner time conversations with your family.
Doesn't have to be dinner time.
Okay. Awesome. Yay. It wasn't huge. It's just like, can you put my name? This at the bottom and the hashtag Kirsten Loved. Because I think I'm going to do the podcast tonight and then do a Facebook Live tomorrow, right before the Christmas cards go out. What?
Nothing. Just sore.
Okay.
Not you. Just me.
I'm like, well, you make these noises, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Because I'm old. I'm
You're not
40.
old. You're not. I am 40, and I don't make those noises.
Yeah, but you've always been younger than me at heart.
You're so funny. Okay. Kim. Oh, wait. I forgot. Susan, here is your stream marker, Heart Rate 101. Kim asks, what is the safest way to increase speed without irritating an injury like shin splints? You go see a physical therapist and determine not just the reason for the shin splints, but the cyclical weaknesses that are contributing to the muscular imbalances in your body that are exacerbated by running. You mitigate those things, and then... I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I say it. The fastest route to faster is through strength. If you try to do speed work before you're ready, you're going to end up with perpetual shin splints. So, thinking practical like higher knees, just quicker foot turnover, smaller, quicker steps. No, that is a function of strength. That is all of that. Cadence, oscillation, vertical oscillation, hip twisting. I forget the fancy term that came up for that, for how much the vertical rotation, the cyclical rotation of the hips, all of that, it is a function of strength. So you can work on your footfall if that makes you feel good, but it is not going to make you faster. And it's going to make your shin splints worse if you're working against your body to have an unnatural stride for something an activity that should be natural from the get-go. You need to be able to sleep. That's okay. I love you more. Merry Christmas. You can have him do that. Okay, cool. Because I would do it badly. Thank you, Julie. I love you. Thank you. And Mr. Julie, too. Tell Mr. Julie I love him. I'm afraid of overstepping and landing too much out in front or too much on the ball of my foot. My legs are too tight or strike the ground too hard. That's bad for my shins and knees. I listened to the podcast about the 4x4 breathing and the Army cadence stuff. What else would help me? I mean, it really depends on what it is you're willing to do. I know you guys are in a tough spot financially, but you really need to see a physical therapist, because these things that you think you want to do, moving your knees higher, trying not to strike on the ball of your foot, none of that's really going to be helpful. We need to find the source of the shin splints, and so far we don't have any good answers. It does not sound to me like your glutes are firing. It does not sound to me like you have any TVA strength or coordination, just based on the recurrence of the issues that you've been talking about. So we can focus on the speed, but it's not going to get you any closer to where you want to be, because anything you do to make you faster is going to make your shin splints worse if we're not ironing out all the muscular imbalances between here and faster. So, and that can take a really long time. I know it's the answers you guys don't want to hear, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm not doing speed work yet. I haven't done the last real speed work session that I did, 2009. See, you guys don't know what speed work is. It's not easy effort and speed work like a binary function. They just two taps the runs. I don't feel like going easy today, so I'm just going to go to the track and run real hard. It's really stupid, all right? It is, I love you, I do, and it's Christmas, and so that's why I've told some of you, just go do whatever it is you want to do until you feel better, and that's fine. But like speed work, here's how, if I had to break it down, and I can't do it any more simply than this, because I find myself saying this over and over again. 160. Past that point, all humans are burning more glucose for fuel than they are oxygen, protein, and stored fat. Okay? That means we're training for endurance events, most of which will last longer than an hour. I'm not training a single person right now that thinks they could complete a half marathon in an hour. The closest I've got is a dude that can run it in 1:04. Okay? That dude also has body fat around 11%. From start to finish in a race, even one that's an hour long, we've gone through at least almost a pound of fat. And he has to fuel usually with a mile to go if he's going to kick and try to win. Okay? Most of us have more body fat than that, and that's a good thing. We don't need to have that little body fat. So as long as we have that little body fat, we need what we do need to do is make sure our body can process that fat really efficiently for fuel, because it's easier to grab for sugar. Your sugar stores are finite. We cannot train your body to hold more glucose. We can't. That's not how your body works. The best we can do in a super well-trained athlete is get about 90 minutes out of race effort before they need to start fueling. And even still, we probably need to start fueling before them, because their body fat is so low that they're going to be in the danger zone really quickly, especially women, because women burn through fat faster than men do. It sounds twisted, but not really. That is separate science. So, I tell you that to tell you this. Every minute we spend above 160 at any point, there better be a goddamn good reason for it. Because you're burning through a finite amount of fuel. For what? If there's no reason for it other than like running's my therapy and it makes me feel good to tear at my knees, ruin my hips, and make sure I can't get out of bed for 3 days, I can't touch that. Because that's not logical. So, but if that's what you're determined to do, join a CrossFit gym. Do Orange Theory Fitness. They will let you do that 5 times a week. So, It's hard. I don't know what else. I don't really know what else to say. If speed is the only thing that matters to you and you refuse to do strength, there's nothing I can do to help you, because running faster isn't going to make you faster. It's going to beat up your joints, your tendons, and your ligaments as you try to force your body to do something it is not yet fit, strong, stable, or ready to do. Finally, real speed work is the breakthroughs. Those also come with high risks of stress fractures, which is another reason why nutrition is paramount. So anyone that gets stress fractures over and over and over again, they're not just fragile. Jesus doesn't hate them. They weren't born lesser. They have a nutrition problem. And most of those nutrition problems are fixable. Takes time, 6 to 8 months, but fixable. I've worked with people that have reversed osteoporosis. So, and osteopenia as well. So, without taking drugs, just with nutrition. Which is not to say that can happen every time, just saying like it can happen, you know. So all that just to say, you guys need to decide, do I want to be right? Do I want to be better? Or do I just want to do whatever the F it is I want to do? And if it's whatever the F it is you want to do, you don't need a coach to do that. And if you want to get faster, I've told you, do more strength. Do strength in a concentrated fashion and don't give up the running while you do it. I give you plenty of strength that goes really, really well with an endurance training plan. The thing is, you guys will combine 2 or 3 different perspectives and questions trying to like force an answer out of me that gets you what you want to hear, or it tells you what you want to hear, and you know I'm not here for that. So I say all this lovingly. I want you guys to have what you want, but if what you want are 200-meter intervals around the track, or 100-meter repeats while you train for your marathon because it makes you feel good, I'm not your girl. But lucky for you, I'm gone in a week, and you don't have to hear this from me ever again. And that is the only question. In 1-1. Okay. And I sincerely apologize if that answer sounded a little more forceful than usual or rude. It's just the bane of my existence. Everybody wants to work on speed as though speed is something separate and different from anything else. I want to get faster? Cool. Do you want to get faster? Do you want to get ready to toe the start line at a race? Do you want to lose weight? What is it you want to do? You can't show up and expect all 6 things to happen. Or, like I said in the podcast, get really, really mad at me or disappointed in yourself when you cross the finish line. And it's like, yay, you did it. Not only did you run the marathon, you hit your goal time. Yeah, but I didn't lose the baby weight. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Both nutrition and HRT run a strong marathon. Yay, Pat Brockman. I love you so much. I'm going to miss you mostest, Pat. Oh, my God. Okay. Here we go. Susan, I'm pretty sure she isn't here. I'm pretty sure, I think she's having a rough night, some family things, so. So that's 102. Yay! No questions in 102. Pooh. Here we go. Hi, my name's Coach MK Fleming of Another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. This is www.trainlikeamother.club. This is my weekly Ask the Coach feature in my training programs. And I'm about to answer all 2 questions that are in the Half Marathon Training Group. here we go. Christina, here's my only question this week. How am I going to get both coached and loved after January the 1st? Seriously, though, I know I'll be just fine, but I'll miss your particular brand of tough love immensely. Thank you, Christina. I'm going to miss you guys more than you could possibly know. Just follow me on social media. I'm still going to be using Twitch. I'm still going to be recording the podcast. And my podcast has an Instagram. Doo-dah. And it's kind of fun. Instagram's actually amazing. I can't believe I haven't been using it more up to this point. I've had a really great time with it the past 2 weeks, so expect to see lots more from me on Instagram. I will not be taking up any additional mantles, though, until I know what the outcome for my son is going to be. But I'm telling you this, that him not being HGT is that's going to clear things. We might be starting the process later than we want to, but we might get through it faster without that diagnosis. Yay! Thank you, Meg. So I'm occasionally have some muscle cramping, and just to go back to that, I'm not dead, you guys. I'm gonna be here. You can find me if you have questions. I will totally answer them. Like, I'm also going to record something tomorrow about boundaries. I feel like people don't have a solid understanding of what boundaries are. When you say hi on Facebook, you're not crossing a boundary. When you like a picture that I post, you're not crossing a boundary. You're not doing anything inappropriate, right? I'm going to define what inappropriate is. I think I've been doing a good job of explaining what inappropriate was over the past 2 years, but clearly subtle doesn't work. So fuck that shit. I'm about to get a lot more direct. Demanding that I show up somewhere, that's, you don't get to demand, right? You don't get to demand a phone call at what would be 3 a.m. my time, because that's the only time that works for you. You don't get to demand and talk about the money that you paid and then demand that I do something. Anytime someone's asked me nicely, I've said yes. I've never turned down a polite request. Maybe I couldn't accommodate in the time frame they wanted, but how many times in the past 2 years have I dropped what I was doing to take a phone call because somebody was a little upset or really upset, or talked to the doctor and got a result they didn't want, or got bad news at work and bad news somewhere else and didn't think they'd be able to go to their race that weekend. I've gotten in trouble at church sitting there following people, and I'm on the board, right? I'm on the board of the preschool, I'm on the board of the church, I run the care committee. I am in it to win it, y'all, at the Methodist church. As hardcore as you could possibly be for, Methodist, no offense to Methodist, but my father has never taken Methodist seriously. I was raised evangelical, and he's just Methodist is they can drink in church. It's barely church. I'm that's why I like it. Oh my God. Nevertheless, I managed to find the line of what's acceptable and what's not in church, and I crossed it. Those damn cowbells in the RaceJoy app the first year of Wine Glass. And they go off every mile, and I was tracking 10 people, so it was going off every not even every 5 minutes, it was every 90 seconds. And they told me how to go sit in the parking lot. So I went and sat in the parking lot and continued to track you guys, right, for minimum wage. So that's all I have to say about that. The boundary is what do you ask for and when? Women should ask for more. But when you demand it and who you demand it from, that's you quickly cross line into inappropriate and bullying. So I'm going to define that line as clearly as I possibly can. And the funny thing is, those of you that are watching now are probably not the ones that have crossed that boundary. If anything, most of the people that are here right now in this Twitch have been sitting back too far for hopes of not offending me or not crossing a boundary. Or I'm not going to reach out at all. I'm just going to sit here and do my thing because I don't want to ask for too much. And when, in actuality, I would give you anything if you just asked for it. Once you demand it, this is what you get. And sometimes that. And then I get my kids involved. And it gets really weird for you. Not for me. I have to catch the rest of this HTC letter. I'm out the door. Thank you. Yay! Merry Christmas, Megan Duncan. Okay, so Meg, I'm occasionally have some muscle cramping spasm below my right shoulder blade when I run. I feel like my cage is locked. When I stretch my back out, when it hurts, it feels better, but will soon come back. Any thoughts or suggestions? That is neuromuscular. And my first question would be if it's only on the right side and it's under there, you probably need, if you're not foam rolling regularly, you need to start. I tend to do it here every night at 7 o'clock when I'm not crazy busy with the holidays. But generally speaking, that 7 p.m. time slot is when I intend to keep. So it might be worth just like gently foam rolling your back or laying the roller down long ways and opening your arms up and down around it, doing snow angels. If Julie, if you're going to hang out here for a bit, remind me to do that a little bit later. When I do go downstairs to do foam rolling, and I'll demonstrate some back opening exercises. That would be my first go-to. Because generally when something is going on in your lats or the rhomboids, it's going to be directly connected to the spine needing to be cracked. Yes, thank you, Stay Hydrated Bot. That's amazing. All right, and that's all the questions in the half marathon plan. Yay. Okay, oh, there are questions in here. So, Julie, this is posted in yesterday's daily thread by a different Julie. Did I miss the info on the dopey runs? Were we supposed to get an email? I'm not sure what she means. Also, I never did an EAT. Or is that correct on the dopey plan? Starting to get nervous. You don't need an EAT on the dopey plan. You need to not die at the event because dopey is doing 4 events, 5K, 10K, half and full, back to back to back over a 4-day period. No, you don't need an EAT because we don't need to run. We're not racing any of these events. Not really. I mean, you can give one of them race effort, but that's really kind of it. And it does not need to be the 5K, the 10K, or the half. Karen. So I'm really sorry, before I get to Karen's question, I really don't understand. Did I miss info on the dopey runs? I don't completely understand. If you signed up for the plan, we're like 2 weeks away. 1 week away. Yeah, we're about 15 days away from the Disney Marathon and the 12 days away from the beginning of dopey. So if you haven't gotten your information on the runs yet, you're behind. Which is why your question is confusing to me. Which runs are you talking about? What do you think is missing? Any question that you have about that, email tlamclub at anothermotherrunner.com. And Susan and Melissa should be able to help you with that. But you're probably not missing anything at this stage. If you have, if you're like Sandy and you've been doing the work. Karen. Hey, coach, enjoying the December monthly Drunken Uncle is a blast. Yay! My question, come January, jump into your January monthly from last year. Strength follow along on Twitch and so fit in a deal series. Squishy ball and move them the best I can. That's what I would do. I mean, you can do the strength in the January monthlies. And if there are enough people showing up asking for demonstrations of strength in the January monthlies, I will provide. I will not only provide, I will perform. We'll go through the January from last year strength together. And you can continue to do this stuff for 3 days at the fair if you want to. But they just kick things up a notch. And I don't know, Julie, you tell Karen, does she want to do what you're doing right now? Do you want Julie's life? I don't know if you can handle Julie's life. I was wondering how to prioritize. Did my first squish series today, number 3, I believe. Finally picked up a ball. So yeah, the most beneficial for anyone. The squish series, what it was designed for, was for people that are going to be running potentially with backpacks, because Julie is doing Rocky Raccoon in February, and now it turns out everyone that I'm training for 50 plus miles at 3 days at the fair, it has turned into a 50K party to support Julie down in Texas. So knowing that was probably going to happen, in no small part because I strongly encouraged it, they're going to be, this is going to be a completely different event from the 3 days at the fair event coming up next May. In February, they're probably going to be running with backpacks. They're probably going to have to carry water and nutrition even for the 50K because it gets really hot in Texas, FYI. And the loop is very, very, very large. It's a well-supported race, but most people want to leave most of the support for the 50 and the 100 milers. So to that effect, I wanted to make sure that their biomechanics are going to be as effective as possible. Meaning, Is the TVA firing? When it fires, does it work in concert with the lats? Because it's real easy to just have this pack on and then pull your shoulders forward, and then before you know it, you're hunching, and you've got that C-spine going on, and then your lower back is doing work that your glutes should be doing. You're overcompensating with your quads, and the next thing you know, you're really tired. You don't know why. Things hurt for no good reason. And the further we can get away from that, the better. So that's what the Squish series was designed for, people that would be carrying backpacks sooner rather than later. So it is beneficial for everyone. I wouldn't be like, don't do it. I just wouldn't make it the top of your priority list. The top of your priority list should be everything on as written in the January plan, and then any desk series, because all of the strength for 3 days at the fair is designed to be done at a desk, because Julie is, it's all about Julie. Yay, Julie. It's all about Julie. But she's at a desk a lot. When she's not at a desk, she's in a courtroom. And I'm just trying to keep her sane through knowing what is the hardest part of her year. And sane, prudence dictates in fucking human decency, requires that I put the minimal amount of stress on her as possible. So I'm not going to try to send her out for a 2-hour run on a Tuesday and then make her go to the gym for an hour at night. That's ridiculous. So by breaking it up and trying to build up the muscle, having her do a desk series throughout the day, we can get exactly what we need from that. And it also provides a little self-care timeout, because some of these are so hard, they're going to basically erase your brain. So that's the high level where I'm coming at in creating the desk series and reviving it for the 3 days at the fair people. It's really just trying to get Julie through the holiday season. So you will get strong if you do what Julie does. But do it if you can commit to it, and I know you can, and add on to it, great. But I wouldn't kill yourself any harder than you're already doing, Karen. You're already doing all the things. I have a question in the monthly thread. Let me pull this up. It's hard for me to see that screen. I have a question in the monthly thread, and I have another. If we do want to try to lose some weight while using HRT and cannot do the LE metabolic reset. Yeah, I heard all the prices went up. I only just found that out today. I've been following Ellie's basic rules from Simply Nourished. I know you are a nutritionist, but do you have any suggestions? Okay, running fasted is not something you do. It depends on... So, let me back up. I have run on an empty stomach since I was a child because I had to get it done before breakfast. That was just that was the only time of the day it worked. To this day, I can't run with food in my belly. It doesn't feel good. I'm not saying that is the best way to go, but it's pretty freaking efficient. So... it's that when you say fasted, I'm going to operate on the assumption you don't mean that sort of fasted state where that's become really fashionable now, where people like go on Pinterest and they're like, oh, I'm not going to eat till noon every day. That sort of thing, the type of fasting, the keto / fasting, where people don't eat until like the afternoon, you cannot do that more than 2 days a week, and you must not do that outside the purview of a nutritionist. So if you're trying to lose weight, following Ellie's Simply Nourished basics is definitely the way to go. Beyond that, writing everything down in a food journal is really important. And I know that sounds, again, kind of like lame, but if it's in your hand and you're aware of what you're taking in and when, it's not a bad thing. I know I've had to modify my eating a lot over the past year because I've been moving a whole lot less. And as I'm now in a period where I'm putting on more muscle, I had like 4 or 5 months where my weight didn't move at all, and it felt kind of stagnant. So most anything that you see on the internet or on Pinterest, that you get what you pay for, and that stuff was free, so it was probably not a good idea. What I would recommend is finding any functional nutritionist that works within your budget, or just start Googling functional nutritionists. That's how I found Ellie. That's where she lies. Functional nutrition usually is covered by insurance, because to become a functional nutritionist, you have to be a registered dietitian, you have to have clinical experience, you have to have a master's, you have to. It's very, very rigorous to get there. And there are lots of them. I wouldn't say a dime a dozen, and no one's going to be quite like have the super duper soft touch that Ellie does, but there are a lot of really good ones out there. So look and see what you can find. Ellie's not the only person that has a program like this. Jackie, I'm glad you love the squish. Jackie, I mean, the squish exercises are fun. Just running before breakfast. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Just, I wouldn't go any crazier with the fasting than that. The simple rules that I kind of have, like my dinner is at 5:30 every night. I really don't, anything past that, it's going to keep me up longer than I want to be. So, there's a video I posted a few weeks ago where I always have option B and option C. And option C is the emergency option where it's like 9 o'clock. I'm about to go to bed and I will drink my dinner, and it's not a good idea, and it's not something people need to do. But with 4 children under 6 and 1 that is teething, I got there and stayed there for several weeks. And I still didn't lose weight necessarily. So that's why I'm saying it's not a weight loss thing. But you need to, the meal planning in advance. And by planning, I mean, like, even I don't say, Monday night, I think I'm going to have the meat and beet salad. And then Tuesday night, I'm going to have stuffed meatloaf and cabbage. Fuck if I think that far ahead. I don't. What I do is I have in my fridge at all times hard-boiled eggs. I buy them from Costco, packets of 2. And I don't ask me how they taste. People are always like, but does that taste good? I'm like, beggars can't be motherfucking choosers, y'all. Have you ever worked in a soup kitchen? Can you imagine showing up in a soup kitchen and saying, this is disgusting? Like, if obviously you don't want to be like serving the bottom of the barrel, but you don't show up to a soup kitchen and demand a 5-course meal. You show up and you're like, this is, what I need to get. And by the way, people don't show up and bitch in soup kitchens. I've not seen it anyway. We volunteered in quite a few. So I tell you that to tell you this. The pickier you are about what you put in your mouth, the more you demand from it, the harder your life is going to become. And my BATNA, my best alternative to like getting the fuck up and cooking, is hard-boiled eggs, salad scissors, and shrimp and spinach in a bowl. I chop the shit out of that so I don't have to think about it. I toss in a little bit of salt so it has some resemblance of taste. Maybe a teaspoonful of salad dressing. Roll it all together and then like put it in my mouth. And because it's been chopped up with salad scissors, I barely even have to chew it. So I have that in my fridge though all the time, and that is always my plan B. When plan A, which is eat a real meal, doesn't work out, I'm not starving, I'm not scrounging, and I'm not ordering food that is going to show up too late, cost too much, and be more than what my body needs to have. So when I say meal plan, I mean plan to eat. Have a very well defined plan B that meets Ellie's guidelines, and 2 fistfuls of spinach and 2 hard-boiled eggs. Absolutely do that for a dinner serving. Ideally, you'd have a starch there too, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But in a worst case scenario, I have a piece of gluten-free bread that I will eat for dessert. I know it sounds amazing. I've learned to turn that off a long time ago. I'm okay with food. Like, if I go to a restaurant and I'm not in a training cycle, like we had dinner tonight, I'll enjoy it. But I'm not a foodie. I'm not a person that like, well, if we're having dinner, then I have to have wine. And if I'm having wine, then I have to have dessert. And if we're going to be here, the more have-tos you have, the more complicated things are going to become. And I'm more of a least common denominator type of thinker. What do I really need to get out of this? 2 servings of protein, 2 fistfuls of veggies. We're winning at life. And that is in my fridge all the time with salad scissors next to it. The best salad scissors I've ever purchased are from the Pampered Chef. As much as I hate to say it because that shit is overpriced, I have given lots of pairs of salad scissors as gifts because they are life-changing. Oh my God. I really don't know what my life was like before salad scissors. What I'm going to invent at some point, and keep your eye out for this, I'm going to have a pair of salad scissors that fit in my pocket and that go in a little case that go in my pocketbook. So when I go to restaurants, I can chop that shit up and then throw the knife back in my purse and be like, what? I'm a gangster. Yeah. Because I hate cutting up salads. It's the worst. I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to like throw it everywhere. It looks like my daughter playing in the sand trap when I try to cut up a salad. So yeah, I would love to have a pocket. I would love to invent and make my next million on the invention of salad scissors. Pocket salad scissors I can take with me everywhere. Yes, go get Pampered Chef because they have the dual blade. And again, I know this costs a little bit more, but like you guys have got to get out of your best lowest best price. And I only buy it with the coupon thinking because you're cheating yourselves. Pampered Chef They're like $30. You can get them cheaper, but I'm telling you, they're not as good. The Pampered Chef's got the 2 big blades, and they never need to be sharpened, and they're so easy to clean. I bought a cheap pair for my mother, and she stole my damn Pampered Chef salad scissors, so I had to go buy a second pair. Just get the good ones from the get-go. And don't let your mother use them. Okay, you do massive amounts of food prep. That's great. I do no food prep. I browned 3 pounds of ground beef on Sunday afternoons so that if I just cannot make myself eat another egg, I have an option to chop up with my spinach. So that's how I think about it. It's not like the meal prep as much as it is like making sure the...
a little weight with you?
Of course you can.
These are the presents
What presents?
we got.
Is that a bunny?
Yes, it's a bunny blanket and then a bunny stuffy.
Oh my gosh!
So they match.
That's amazeballs.
RJ got a stuffy dinosaur and a dinosaur blanket to match.
Did you take pictures of him wearing it?
And then yes, and then Shiloh has a unicorn blanket and a unicorn stuffy to match.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, you were so cute. We're going to have to sit. Miss Susan is really sad. Her friend is in the hospital, and I don't think she's going to come out. So we're going to have to take pictures, if you don't mind. She loves you, and she would love to see pictures of you. This would make her really happy. Can we take some pictures?
Yeah.
For Miss Susan? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi,
Miss Susan is not here tonight. Miss Julie is. Hi. It's my little buddy. Julie, would you mind sending a screenshot to Susan, because it might be a while before I can get a picture over to her. I love you. Are your lips chapped? Mine are too. It was really cold in the mountains.
Yeah. My lips were hurting, so I had to put some basin on it. I don't know.
Vaseline?
Yes, Vaseline.
Here. Oh, bunny. Bunny. Thank you, Julie. So yes, salad scissors. The best thing about losing weight, if you want to lose weight, we have to change your body's metabolic function. And the fastest way to do that is through strength training. That's happening in a really targeted way. The way that, and we have to reduce the distance running, right? So again, you can't have 2 goals at the same time. This is why most people trying to lose weight during a strength training cycle don't manage to do it. First, we pack on the muscle, and then the muscle eats all your fat. Julie might not be the right person to ask about this because she's put on shit tons of muscle, and she looks freaking amazing. But we have not gotten to the point yet. It's coming, Julie, because we haven't started doing the really crazy long stuff like you're going to have to do for 3 days at the fair. Once we get there, though, the hollowed out look's going to come to your face and your arms. And that's when we really have to start making sure you're getting enough protein to keep all that muscle over time, because ultra runners have a really, really, really hard time with that. And it's one of the reasons why we start with a super duper hardcore pack on all the muscle we can, because your body's going to start cannibalizing it, basically. There will be times where we go for runs and I'm calculating a rate of muscle loss before I send you out for the week. Right? Can I finish?
Boing.
Boing. Boing.
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
I'll play with
Okay.
you.
Okay. The bed is just a mess right now because I'm going through papers.
I can play in there.
You can totally play in there.
Since Miss Jessica doesn't know, I'm gonna tell her.
Just stay up here so she can't not let you come back up. I'll
Okay.
take care of it if she comes upstairs. Okay?
Okay.
I got you, boo. Okay. So we want to pack on all the muscle that we can. Thank you. We want to pack on all the muscle that we can. If you really want to lose weight, the best way to do that is to get into these series that I do on Twitch. Well, I haven't been great on them since I had that virus a couple weeks ago, but I hope to get back into them after Christmas, specifically on the 26th. But when you do that Desk Series 1 or Aspire even 3 times a day, it's 5-minute series, it's 15 minutes of strength. 15 minutes per day of strength, adding a 1 serving of protein at breakfast, that adds up really quickly, more quickly than you would think. So if we want to lose weight, first we focus on the muscle building while we maintain some of the cardio that we've been doing in the pattern assigned to my plans. But we scale things back. So I'm happy to, talk you through kind of how to do that later when I go down and have a board to write on, because I keep using my hands right now because I don't have a place to put those thoughts. So I'm gonna go down in a few minutes, and when I do, if you don't mind hanging out, I will talk through some options for what a weight loss week would look like. But generally speaking, that's the biggest mistake I see people make. Once you've prescribed, this is what I want to do. I want to look like this runner. This runner I know is a marathoner. I want to look like this ultra marathoner. And some of these people are, granted, totally tiny, but you can't be cherry picking. I'm going to do this, but not that, and that. Why don't I look like them? So when it comes to losing weight, we have to build muscle. We have to really reduce. We have to eat. We have to watch our blood sugar. Basically, we have to eat almost like a diabetic. We have to keep that slow, steady blood sugar all day long. It's one of the reasons why you don't have starches necessarily first thing in the morning, and like when Ellie says you don't have bread first thing in the morning or cereal because we don't want to spike your insulin and your cortisol levels. All of that basically is how a diabetic eats. So I'm going to stop there because it's about to get into out of my wheelhouse and firmly into nutrition. But don't become a slave to it. But it's worth considering the glycemic index if a functional nutritionist is completely out of your price range. Amanda! Love you. Howdy, Coach! As you know, I'm trying to take a little over an hour off my marathon time to BQ in the next 4 years. My initial strategy was to do a half and full marathon every year until I accomplish this. But is it better to work on increasing my racing speed with shorter distances first? Knowing that strength and nutrition need to be an ongoing focus. Maybe this is a 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type of situation, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. So I don't think it's a bad thing to go work towards a shorter distance and come back to a longer distance. Here's where people go wrong, though. Strength is equally important. In my opinion, the fastest way to faster is to get and stay in the monthly plans. And here's why. It's a lot of work, and it's not as much pressure, because the problem that people run into is like let's say you train for a marathon, and week 17 of a marathon is about 8 hours of running. That's a lot of running. 8 to 9 hours of running. Julie's like, I missed the last week. I only had 9 hours of running. What? My life! But sorry to pick on you, Julie. It's like, I know you've got fun. You've got really fun stuff coming up. But here's the issue. So you have that let's say 9 hours a week during peak week of running in your marathon cycle. Then you taper for week 1, taper for week 2, do your race, take 1 week off, take 2 weeks off, and then you go back to the beginning of a training plan, which might be 4 hours a week of running. You're losing fitness when you do that. So I don't think it would take a full 4 years. I mean, I know you're giving yourself time, and I know you've got all the family stuff going on, but the process really, you did a full marathon training cycle, and you were in a good place. The day did not give you what you deserved. So I'd say going directly there for the monthlies, do all the things in the monthlies, join one of the HRT monthly alumni pages. Most of the people in there have worked with me for a long time. And Sarah Seberg has been in the monthlies for, I initially thought no one would possibly want to be in the monthlies longer than 3 months because they're hard. And everyone at AMR seems super price sensitive, so I thought maybe maximum 3 months would be the longest anyone would stay in there before they turned around and go throw away their fitness and start a week 1 of a marathon or half marathon 20-week training program again. But that's not what happened. We had people get in there and then they loved the monthlies and would never leave. And that's how I train year round most of the time. Except when I'm in a specific marathon cycle about 10 weeks out, I'll start focusing and going in. But it's a really good thing to do. So anyway, that's a long way of saying, like, make sure that whatever you do when you're switching gears, you're not losing fitness in the process, and that you have a higher level approach to the year. And as long as you're not running the bare minimum, then you're not throwing fitness away, and we can build from there. But yeah, that's the hard part, right? I think the perfect baseline week is the week 1 of my monthly plans, which looks a whole lot like week 10 of my half and full plans. What? So try not to let your basic week go less than the amount of running prescribed in week 10 of the half or full marathon plan. You're going to be fine.
Medals, Mommy.
And when it comes to the increasing your racing speed, remember what we do to increase racing speed is strength work. You can do 5K specific training, and again, we're taking a risk. You get injured, that's going to move your timeline back more than you might want. No more of that, please. Thank you. It's really distracting. It's hard for me to think when I hear that sound. Okay. So yeah, if I were you, honestly, and I know I sound like I'm continually banging this drum, I would just get the monthlies and stay there. Nikki, hey coach. I guess I better ask this now since we only have one left after tonight. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm so sad. What is a good game plan for me to use on race day for my 50K? Without a plan, I know I will go out too hard, and I would really like to not die the first time I attempt this distance. Generally speaking, for a 50K or a 50 miler, we really have to take the course into account. Anything longer than marathon distance is usually on a trail. Not always, but usually. And when it's on a trail, we have to take the hills into account. So if the first hill is going to have you walking because it's a 1,000-foot rise over 2 miles, over half a mile, then yeah, you're walking. And you can't think about heart rate. You just got to get there. Like, I don't want you crawling up that first hill. But that's what we're training for in an ultra. It's the maximum aerobic function so that your heart rate plummets really quickly every time you, like, take your foot off the gas. So I'm not trying to dodge your question. I just have a really hard time answering it without more information about the race you're doing. And I know you've probably told me before, but I got a whole lot of clients, and it's not at my fingertips, and I'm sorry. So if you come back in to this thread and comment and remind me which race it is you're doing, tomorrow night when I stream my foam rolling, I'll come back and give you a more thorough answer that is specific to the distance that you're running. It's half trail, half road, not terribly technical or hilly. Oh, okay, then you just want to not die. Basically, then, if there's nothing technical to it, there's no hilly, then you just want to take the marathon plan. It's only 4 miles longer than a marathon, so just add a mile to the last, because it's conserve, reserve, preserve, and then serve. All right, so just add a mile to each of those sections, and you got your race plan. Allie, I have a question. Lately, my hands have been swelling on long runs. It seems to be a thing more on days I don't wear gloves and then regret it. So maybe it's cold related. Of course, it's also possible I don't notice as much when my fingers are covered. It hasn't happened to me to this extent in previous cycles. It doesn't bother me except for the fact that it makes my fingers clumsy when I need to refill my water or retrieve a gel. So generally speaking, hand swelling, that's nutrition. And that's salt-related, salt and sugar. Sugar is the biggest culprit, but we don't have to be perfect. We just have to, acknowledge, hey, the sugar that I'm eating before dinner, it tastes amazing, but it's increasing the inflammation in my body and the chances that my tissues are going to swell on my long run tomorrow. That's it. So it's not a cause for concern unless that's being accompanied with, unless the swelling is excessive. If the swelling is so excessive it doesn't look like your hands, it is not excessive to have swelling to the point that you can't get your wedding ring off. It is not excessive to need to loosen your watch a notch on your long run. It is excessive if you start the run being able to pull your wrist up, pull your sleeve up, and then you can't. It is excessive when a cuff feels comfortable at the start and feels tight by the finish. That's edema. And edema is something you need to see a doctor about. But what you've described does not sound like edema to me. So let's just try to watch some of the sugar. maybe the night before and the days before a long run, and see if that helps. But that's usually the first thing that I go to. Times when it's normal to swell, things that are abnormal that shouldn't happen on a Tuesday, for example, or a long run, they can happen on tempo runs. The first tempo run of the season, I always want to poop my pants in the middle of it because it's a shock to the system. The first track workout, the first really rigorous speed where I put on my cleats and I go out to a track and I'm really hitting it hard to do a sharpener, man, that is going to make you want to poop. Even though I never have to poop on runs, that first one is a shock to your metabolic system. And it's not unusual after that to have swelling or to have sore hamstrings. And that's kind of the trifecta of things that we don't ever want to have happening, and it should never, ever, 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 ever happen on an easy effort run. So if it's happening during or after a hard run, I would say that's normal. But if it's happening on an easy effort run or a long run, I'm like, that's abnormal, and 9 times out of 10 it's nutrition. And I know it's lame, and I know I hate saying it, and I'm so sorry. It's not like I don't want you guys to enjoy things. And again, you don't have to be perfect. Just be like, this ice cream is incredible, and it just means my fingers are going to be swollen tomorrow. Shrug. Worth it. The key takeaway, the pull quote that I wanted everyone to notice in my Nuzzle newsletter today came from Kara Goucher, where she said, this will be the first marathon I've ever trained for where I haven't sacrificed anything to be there. And who has told you that's the way you need to look at it? Right? Either we're throwing everything at the wall, demanding perfect performance, or we're not making all those hard choices. We're not sacrificing things. We're not missing our kids' school performance to go for a run. That happens on the regular because we're a slave to a training plan trying to beat other people. You never know who's going to show up that day. So you got to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I didn't do all the things, but I have no regrets about the choices that I made because my priorities are in order. You know, then there's some Saturday mornings you just don't want to miss snuggles. I get that. There's some Saturday mornings, some Friday nights you really just you haven't seen your husband all week and he's really warm and snuggly and you want to get in there and stay there. Do that. There have been several 2 days I've missed because I married a really delicious man. So, but I'm not elite, and I'm not pro, and I can do that. And so when you toe the starting line, the question then becomes, did I miss so much that this race is not going to be what I wanted it to be? But what we can't do is pretend that we did all the things and beat ourselves up. So I don't need you guys to be perfect and avoid all sugar forever. Just know it's a balance. And don't give up anything that you truly don't want to, because there's no guarantee. This is one 20-week training cycle, man. You could do all things perfectly and still get the flu. You could do all things perfectly and still have a hurricane. You could do all things perfectly and still fuck knows. So don't give up anything you don't want to give up, especially around Christmas time. It's not worth it. Yay! Oh my gosh, guys, that's it. That's it. We're moving to the monthlies. Oh my god. I'm so sad.
Mom,
Yes?
can we have some time while watching a Christmas movie?
Which Christmas movie?
Well, since we haven't watched it yet, the Santa Claus 2.
Yes! Good choice. I like where your head's at.
Because we haven't watched it.
Should I put on my Jingle Bell shoes?
Yeah.
Should I put on my Jingle Bell hat?
Yeah.
Should you put on the other Rudolph antler Jingle Bell hat?
Yeah.
Should we put on really ugly Christmas sweaters?
Yeah.
Yes! All the things! I love the way your mind works. Go take your bennies, go hop in my bed, and as soon as I get off of the stream, we'll do it together. All right?
Okay.
Don't turn on the TV yet. Just get in bed and get comfortable, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
Or can I stay in here until you are done?
You can, but you can't interrupt me again because I'm almost done. And
I
every time you
won't.
interrupt me, it's that much longer.
I won't.
Okay. I love you.
I love you. Oops.
Forgot to put my question on Facebook. Hello, Amy Lou Who. Do you have a monthly to marathon document? I'm thinking of doing something like that for my 5th marathon, too. And for potential fall, PR marathon is super outstanding, harder than outstanding. Yes, super outstanding is harder than outstanding. Is it possible to either of those plans by only doing 60 minutes for the weekday runs? Could we cut the difference at like 65? Then yes. I never finalized the marathon to monthly document, but you've been with me for 2 years, Amy, so I'll send you the unperfected, unedited version that we never got to send out because no one really asked for it. We had like 1 or 2 people mention it, and then we're like, I'm going to save money and go to the marathon plan. So I will send you my rough draft, but you're going to have to remind me because I don't know if you heard I got snuggling to do. And if I haven't given it to you by like tomorrow night, I promise I'll make every effort to get it to you. But it's not that different from the half plan. But yes, I will go ahead and give that to you. Yay! All right, y'all. Here we are. Ask the coach. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Hi, for those of you just joining the stream, my name is Coach MK Fleming of Another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. This www.trainlikeamother.club. And this is my weekly feature known as Ask the Coach, where I answer all the questions that are burning in the minds and hearts of my runners. Here we go. The final section of the night. Heart rate monthly plan. Elizabeth, first I want to say I love the Twitch forum. Yay! I love you for loving it. Twitch is a lot of fun. It's easier for me to hang out here, and I can give you guys more thorough and more honest answers than I can when just, typing, and typing takes forever, and then the responses back and forth just, made me hate Ask the Coach. So I'm glad you like Twitch as much as I do. It has made me love this feature that had been the bane of my existence for 2 damn years. I usually can't watch it at the time you broadcast, but I watch it while I'm on the treadmill for my Monday workouts. Yay! It's so informative and fun. Thank you for putting this time in. I have a few questions. I know you say runners are data-driven. I'm a teacher too. Double trouble. Oh, shit. Tell me, no, double trouble is like being a teacher of medical students. Because anyone with medical training wants to try to, out-science me or abuse the scientific method, which is really just hurts my feelings. As someone that left the evangelical South to embrace science, it makes me really angry when people that did not have to break free from a church to, ask questions and turn on Bunsen burners and, be like, oh, how does this all come together? I get really angry when smart people, educated people, hide behind credentials and don't use good logic. Or forget what a null hypothesis is. So, that's about the only thing that gets me worked up. So, last week you said plenty of your runners PR'd coming off a monthly. How does this happen? Strength. First, they take the 20 weeks to build a really good cardiovascular base, aerobic base, and then they come into the monthly. So everyone's goal should be fit enough to get into the monthly plans. And once you're there, sky's the limit. Trying to jump directly into the monthly plans would overwhelm most people. But once we take a good, long, slow, easy on-ramp via a 20-week half marathon training plan, you will flourish once you get in there because things will come together at an accelerated rate that you just can't force. So when you do things in order and follow the order of operations, good things happen. When you get impatient and say, well, I want to do this, and this because I'm ready, even when you're not, that's when injuries happen or frustration happens or burnout happens. My long runs have been 14 minutes per mile on average. I hope this doesn't come off as condescending. I just don't understand how 1, 2, or 3 months doing heart rate training can transfer to a PR. It's not 1, 2, 3 months of heart rate training. It's 20 weeks of a race plan, followed by an additional 12 weeks of more intense workouts through the monthly plans. So that's 32 weeks. And if you read every single book that's ever been written on marathon training, they all say you need to be running really consistently at least 5 days a week for no less than a year before attempting to train for a marathon, which people don't do. 32 weeks, it's not 52, but it's better than nothing. And if we can get you through 32 weeks uninjured and unscathed, that's when the positive feedback loop really starts to kick in. And it's like, hey, wow, I just ran a 10K faster than I ever have before. And it's not about doing training that's specific to the 5K or the 10K or 5K specific workouts. It's about general fitness. We're improving your body's efficiency, your running economy, and your overall fitness for a really long time. And once we've maxed that out and we've gotten everything we can get out of nutrition and strength, that's when we start doing the funkier stuff. So getting there faster isn't better because then your options are really limited. And every time you go out for a workout, especially on a track, you're risking injury. So I'm good to stay this side of needing speed work for a long damn time, personally. I feel like you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You just got to be more patient. Number 2, you also said you didn't think it would be difficult for something coming... Wait, these are the questions from last week. I am so sorry, you guys. I was like, I know I've answered this before. Yay, here it is. Oh, whew. I apologize, guys. No one called me out. Just reminds you later, but still, that's the most important. Yes, but email to don't hesitate to email me at coachmkfleming@gmail.com. That will be the fastest way to get my attention. Hi, Coach. Wishing you and your family happy holidays. Can you explain the magic of the slow cool down after 20 minutes at 5K pace? Haha. Because that's where the magic happens, right? So when you continue to work while your body recovers from that really hard work, that the repair that initiates, that's what leads to aerobic efficiency. That's why I tell you guys, you're better off extending the cool down than adding more hard workout time or adding more reps. That's literally true. It's what makes the stride sandwich so potent when you're aerobically efficient enough to do them. I'm not yet, and I can't wait until I am. When you can do a series of strides and then go back into an easy effort run, like that was no big deal, that's huge. So those strides are going to make you faster. It's neuromuscular stimulus that leads to speed minus the fatigue of a super hard workout. Because all you got to do those fast twitch muscles is wake them up. Hello, hello, and then they have to adapt as you keep going. So that's where the magic of the cool down comes in. Is that you're still working, but to recover while you're working is a big deal, and that's what improves running economy, because your body is not going to be pulling for glucose. It's going to be like, think of it as sort of like digging with both hands for oxygen, and that is where the capillaries are growing. That's where the mitochondria are built. That's all the good stuff that really leads to the biggest possible aerobic engine you can get. So in super non-scientific terms, that's where we're at. Michelle, I'm going to miss all the wisdom from these Ask Coach sessions. Thank you for coaching me this past year. You're welcome! I'd like some advice on shoes as a follow-up from someone's question last week. I'm currently rotating between Brooks Adrenaline and Saucony Guide. Both are wide, but they still seem to squish my toes. I've tried Ultra and love the wide toe bed, but had issues with my Achilles from the lower heel drop. Any advice on shoes to look for? How I can ease into shoes with the lower heel drop without injuring myself? This is not a stupid question. It's not a stupid question at all. So what happens with the drop? The drop is, it's not like the drop is bad and you should avoid the drop. It's that we got to get you ready for the drop, and we can't just like switch shoes and be like, it's no big deal, because it is kind of a big deal. So the two things that I would have you do: barefoot calf races on the edge of the stairs. I can, depending on how. You know what? I'm going to demonstrate them tomorrow night. I'm sorry. Calf raises on the edge of your stairs. Come back in tomorrow night into the stream. Yes, I know it's Christmas Eve, but I'll be streaming. Say hi, and I will do a quick demonstration of heel lifts. Or if you catch me streaming tomorrow during the day, I'm happy to do it then again too. So that would be a really good place to start. You always need to do these barefoot because we need to strengthen your foot. And we need to strengthen that Achilles connection. Finally, you need to spend a lot of time mobilizing your lower shin using the first two moves in my foam roller series. That's going to get you further than just about anything else we could do. Sarah, thank you for the card. I know it's been said many times by now, but I'm so grateful you met Dimity, joined AMR, and stumbled into our lives. You played a huge part in how I've grown, and that goes for much more than an athlete. Oh, done so much for many of us, given so much of yourself, and fostered the community that got to be. In 2 weeks, a new chapter will begin for you and us, but we will always be a part of each other in some ways. Oh, for sure. I mean, Sarah, I got you forever. You are in here and in here. That's not going anywhere. We're getting together with family this afternoon, so I don't know that I'll be home yet to be on live. but you'll keep me company tonight while wrapping presents. So, assuming this is in fact a stress fracture, I find out January the 3rd. Be in the boot 4 to 6 weeks. Of course, I'll ask my doc this too, but once I'm cleared to run, how long of a build-up to regular programming would you like to see? I haven't run much since Thanksgiving for now. Nothing but that pressure on my foot. I don't have access to a pool. I would go to CrossFit. If it's bench press, but I can only do upper body. All right. So what I would really like to see, elliptical would be optimal if you had it. But this is the time kind of for intervals. So I would start with something. I would set aside the time blocks and just get used to an idea of a whole lot of walking your warm up, and then do like 1 minute of jogging. I would have a pattern like 1 by 3 on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So a warm up, and then like it maybe a 10-minute period of 1 by 3s, and then do the math for a cool down. So it would be 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, day off, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then work up from there, with the meat of the workout Monday, Wednesday, Saturday being something like a 1 by 3 or 1 by 2. Just to let your feet readapt to running and make sure that whatever inefficiencies would have led to that stress fracture, we've caught them and sort of like put a plug on them. Also, this is a really good time to be thinking about nutrition. Maybe have your iron levels checked if you can. If your muscles fatigue a little more easily, here's what it comes down to, right? Stress fractures are not normal. Either they come from overuse or undernourishment somewhere. So it could be, I would strongly suspect that there might be something missing in your diet that we could easily replace. Something like magnesium. It's mind-blowing how much of a difference magnesium makes, and how much more iron you're able to metabolize just by adding that into the mix. So that's kind of how I would start thinking about it. But also, like, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I will personally, like, just guide you right back to through the process once you're cleared to run. So, Leah, I've been doing my long runs on hilly trails this summer. Do I still keep heart rate under 140? Uh-huh. Truthfully, I've been keeping effort level easy and ignoring my heart rate. Okay. In group runs, I've been hanging out with the trail runners to ensure this, or the tail runners to ensure this. I mean, this is a monthly plan. You can do whatever you want. If you find you're starting to burn out, though, you might want to reconsider or start dropping the hard efforts on your Monday, Wednesday runs. So, question 2, asking for 2019. How do you save your taper? I want to have a backup plan for a marathon in July. Saving, I'm not sure I completely understand your question. Saving your taper is what you do if you show up to race day and the conditions are terrible. You got food poisoning the night before. It's pouring, and you don't think it's safe to run. So we can save a taper for up to 8 weeks. Beyond that, though, it becomes a bad idea. People just mentally, it's exhausting and they can't handle it. So it's not like we can save a taper from December to July. We could save it maybe from the end of May to July to the middle of July, something like that. If that doesn't answer your question, reach back out, but that's kind of how I look at it. What's on the highlight reel from your time with AMR? Philadelphia Marathon 2016. That will always be a high point. Seeing everyone, I felt like a celebrity with everyone saying my name and recognizing all these faces as I ran around the course. Watching my friend really smash a goal. Not only did she qualify for Boston, she qualified with a 15-minute margin, which is a guaranteed early entry, which is something a lot of people will never get to do. And knowing that I played a role in that and being there while it happened was just badass as fuck, and I loved it. Other things, I'll never forget meeting Dimity. That day was just surreal and crazy at Zuma in October of 2015. Meeting you at the retreat, and it was really unfortunate, and I was so pregnant, I was so sick. Kate Walton bringing me water while I was like laying upside down in the lobby because my room was disgusting and I couldn't vomit in that toilet anymore because I couldn't handle the all the mildew around the rim of the toilet. All the love and all the presents I got after Violet was born. The picture that a whole bunch of people in the first round of Heart Rate was nothing short of magical. A whole bunch of people got together and made a contact sheet and framed it with all their pictures on it. And that's in my, it had been hanging in here in my office, and now it's about to be transferred downstairs next to where I do my Twitch streaming. And I love that. That was a highlight. The party at Philadelphia at Kelly Take's house was amazing. I still can't believe she so generously offered to throw a party for all 50 of us and hosted, and it was wonderful. Everything about Philadelphia was wonderful and magical. And it wasn't just a highlight from AMR. It was truly a high point in my life. It's one thing to say I really enjoy this and I like coaching. It's another thing to feel like I'm good at it and I'm adding value in the lives of others, because that's when it's all worth it. And that was reinforced a lot during my time at AMR, and I could not possibly be more grateful. Sasha, I will be running the marathon relay with 3 other Bammers at the All Clear Retreat this spring. I plan to use the monthlies with the half marathon adjustment because I like the training for training. Yay! I would like to run my leg of the relay by heart rate. Can you give me some heart rate guidelines to run by? It depends on which leg of the relay and what the course looks like, but I say if you're just running 8 miles, go out there and run it by feel. I would make the first 2 miles a little bit artificially slow, and then feel your way through the rest of it. If you've been training with me for a while, and I've seen your name before, so I think you have been, then yeah, I say go out there and just see what you got. Why hold yourself back? I'm more concerned with heart rate and like people in a full marathon situation, because people are like, I was fine until my 20, then I hit the wall, and I'm like, no, you ran the first 20 miles wrong. That's what happened. You ran the first 20 miles wrong, and that you did not hit the wall. That's not how it works. Hard is hard. The end of a race is always hard because you're getting tired, because you've tapped out your glycogen stores, YOLO, whatever. But walking after mile 20 because you were completely out of gas means you ran the first 20 miles incorrectly. I am way less worried about that happening in an 8-mile race. Most people don't run a 5K hard or fast enough. They're not in enough pain. Most people nail a 10K. If I take away your watch and say, just go show me what you got, most people within 2 tries will race a perfectly executed 10K totally by feel, and that's what we want. So yeah, 10K pace for some reason, that's tempo, the lactate clearing pace. Most people can find that and hold on to it easily. Anything harder or faster than that is, most humans just don't want to go there, because why would you? So that's what I would do if I were you. And wondering if I need to reset what my easy effort pace is for the point of using it for 5K and 10K equivalent pace of workouts. My vanilla pace has been around 15 for the last month. No, I don't think you need to. I think you're overthinking it. Don't worry about it. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't change anything. You don't need to slow down the harder portions just because life's gotten in the way and your easy effort to slow down a little bit. Don't worry about it. You're good. Also, how do you know when you've improved enough for a new normal easy effort pace? You feel it, and the improvement's going to come from strength and consistency, and coming through the holidays unscathed. So let's revisit, in the beginning of January or the end of January, when you've been training consistently for a while, back on the horse, pulling all the pieces together and giving yourself lots of grace. Stephanie, when 1/1/19 hits and we're kind of on our own, I'm going to try to keep using a past monthly plan and then the monthly to half marathon plan for my March half. Any advice about which half to follow, or does it matter? Any advice on which strength or move of the month to follow? Oh, I love you too. You're not totally on your own. I'm always going to be here, right? So, the half plan kind of depends, right? So, excellent. So, if you're talking about doing the monthly to half marathon plan, then I'm not sure what you mean about which half to follow, because that is its own plan. If you wanted to move to excellent in 2019 to get ready for March, that's possible, but I think you prefer the monthlies. So there's just a supplement. If you go in the Files tab and download the monthly to half marathon worksheet, it tells you exactly how to adjust your long runs while doing the monthly plans as written, as you progress through the month and the countdown to your race begins. Also, do all the strength as written. Like, there's no strength that's bad in there. A good one that's always fun to add in are the monster band walks. But you can also show up in Twitch and do whatever we're doing, just like Karen Schluter intends to do. And that'll be fine. Jackie. Hi, Merry Christmas. Following up again to the Twitch video suggestions. Thank you for those. So what I'm hearing is strength is a priority, not even close to optional in order for me to prevent injuries. Yes. Should I be capping the length of my run at a certain time? Why would you run more than what I tell you to run on the long run and the monthly plans? I noticed that my heart rate stays much lower on afternoon runs, even after caffeine, that does first thing in the morning. Am I not warmed up enough? No. I mean, if your heart rate stays lower in the afternoons, you're a unicorn. I say go with that. If running in the afternoons is possible and you enjoy it, do that. Melissa, I've been sick with the cold. It seems to almost get almost better, and then came roaring back. It's been a rough month for self-care. I feel like after 18 months in UHRT, I know how to ease back in. My question is when. Whenever you're ready to. Whenever you're ready to. I mean, if you can do 20 minutes tomorrow, I say do 20 minutes tomorrow so you're feeling, that'll settle your mind a little bit more before Christmas Day itself. 20 minutes is better than nothing. Remember, that's always the bare minimum default run. Make yourself try to go for 20. If 20 feels good, stay out for 30. But don't worry about it. Start back in when you can, and don't try to artificially force yourself faster. Every day is a chance for a brand new beginning. Mary, does it mean anything that I greatly prefer tempo-ish runs to pace work runs? Most people do, for the reasons that I just articulated a minute ago. It's the default hard pace for people is that tempo effort. Trying to get people to run faster than that on speed work. Remember, I've always said they don't run speed work hard enough or 5K stuff fast enough. Like they don't actually come close to doing speed work because they don't run it hard enough, right? Where people tend to fall and hang out naturally is that 10K tempo pace. So no, you're not weird. Greatly means that I often opt to ease the effort in the latter, but look forward to the former. Does it mean anything in my training going forward for things I should work on and focus to improve? The only thing you need to worry about, Mary, is loving yourself as much as I do. You're amazing. You're amazing. And you're wonderful. And you absolutely are an athlete. You've got a heart of gold. And you've got so many gifts. And you've got so much more than you think you do. So I know that it's easy to start picking yourself apart like other people have done to you in the past and look for everything that's flawed. But all I can do is look at you and see everything that's so goddamn fantastic. I barely know what to do with myself. So what you're going to do is give yourself some grace. Enjoy some runs. Do the plan as written. And know that you're exactly where you need to be. Because you are. Trisha, I hope I'm asking this in the right place. You are! I'm having trouble with the Saturday run, keeping my heart rate down and feeling good. Am I overdoing it during the week? Should I skip adult beverages on Fridays? Yes. You're not overdoing it during the week, but you should probably, if we could not drink on Friday night, that's going to make your Saturday run go a whole lot better. And the reason your heart rate would be elevated is because of dehydration. Am I just not ready for the monthly? No, you're fine. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Just if we could move the drinking from Friday night to Saturday night, or move the long run, just swap the sandwich around, do your longer run on Friday, and that'll make, that'll be less running to worry about on Saturday. I think those are your best options. That's what I would do. No, Jack, you don't need to run less than what I suggest. You're good. You're good. And all of you are coached, loved, and winning at life, and I'm going to go win at some snuggles because I got a tired little bunny over here in the corner that's been waiting very patiently, and I love you and I'm proud of you. Okay?
I was trying to say how long will this take, but I kept remembering.
Okay. It's her turn, guys, to be coached and loved and winning at life. Love you guys. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much for being here. One of these left. One of these left. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And other points this week.
Merry Christmas, hop hop. Hippity hop hop.
You're coached, you are loved. Let's go in at Christmas. And don't forget, tell everyone you know they want to get on my Christmas list for tomorrow. Yay, 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 yay. It's going to be amazing. We love you guys. Yay. Good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.